Well, we have been checking in with folks at the Milken Global Conference out on the West Coast. And one of the people who's there is the Austin Mayor, Steve Adler. I caught up with him in Austin. Now I get to catch up with you again, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much for being with us. I know that you're talking about the big economic growth that Austin has seen out there, but I do want to ask you about something else, an item that is in the news first, and that is this leaked draft of the opinion from the Supreme Court that looks like it could be poised to overturn Roe v. Wade. And I'm asking you about it because, as we've talked about before, Austin is sort of a liberal island in the sea of Texas. Texas, one of the states that's poised to overturn Roe v. Wade, or poised to act on that overturning if and when it does happen. So I would ask you, sir, how seriously should we take this report? And is there anything that you're sort of poised to do about it?
First, thank you for the opportunity to be with you again. I think everybody, most of the people in our city are real concerned about this leaked opinion. First, substantively, if Roe is going to go away, that seems such a horrible thing after being law for such a long period of time. Our city has done everything that we can to help protect that right for women. And to help everybody in our city be able to take advantage of this constitutional right. I tell you, I am real disturbed about a leaked opinion. I've never seen such a thing happen this early in this process. And it just seems to be just another hit to our democratic institutions. As we lose more and more trust in our basic democratic institutions in this country, I think that's the biggest threat to democracy generally. So the way that this happened is also incredibly disturbing.
I would also ask you, Mayor, Texas, leaving aside what's going on in the Supreme Court, Texas is one of the states that has been working to restrict access. Is there any recourse you have in a municipality within a state that is making those kinds of changes?
Well, the state's trying to make it as hard as it can for anybody to be able to assist anybody taking advantage of this right. But in Austin, where Roe v. Wade is so significantly supported, we've done things like supporting our area clinics by providing support for women so that they can take advantage of their legal right, helping them with logistics and costs. So we're doing everything we can as a municipality to make sure that this right not only exists, but is one that people can take advantage of. It's still the law right now, and we'll continue to do everything we can, but we live in a state that is trying to make it harder and harder all the time.
I want to talk about the return to office as well. When you think about the number of companies, major tech companies occupy the largest amounts of office space in Austin. So when you have more tech companies that are continuing eyeing the area, what is the selling point, the proposition that you're continuing to discuss with them, especially in the face of some of the legal fronts that are taking place in the state too?
Well, I believe that the positions that are being taken by our state leadership with respect to abortion, with respect to transgender children, make it harder for us to attract businesses, make it harder, more difficult decision for people to decide to live here. But in Austin, we try to stay true to who we are, and we recognize that what makes Austin ultimately attractive are the people that self-select to be here. There's a different culture, there's a different way that people view the world and each other in this city, and it's real important that we maintain that and nurture that. It's an innovative, creative city with an incredibly high tolerance for taking risks, and I think that's a real differentiator and one of the reasons why these companies want to come to our city. The people they want to have work for them want to live in this city, and this is a great city for innovation.
Mr. Mayor, one company or business you've attracted to Austin is Tesla and CEO Elon Musk. Now, he's had a lot of good early success there in Austin with his new factory. He has recently made a bid to buy Twitter, and he has floated the potential of closing down that San Francisco headquarters. Do you want to roll out the red carpet to get those Twitter workers?
Well, there are a lot of Tesla workers that Elon Musk could bring to Austin that are exactly the kind of jobs we want. Those are the middle skill jobs, the jobs that are paying $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year that are in his factories. And I want to do everything I can to help encourage him to bring those jobs, because in our city, that's what we need in order to be able to maintain the people, the diversity. We have an affordability issue, and we need to make sure that we don't lose the diversity and the people that create the friction that drive the art and the culture in our city. I'm happy to have Twitter workers come here too. I want Mr. Musk to help us with those middle skill jobs.
And then additionally here, I mean, thinking through all of the movements that we've seen in trying to bring more chip manufacturing, and especially into the Southwest, we've seen much of those projects be started out. Where are some of the talks taking place in Texas, in Austin specifically, and adjacent areas to get some of that chip manufacturing? I believe AMD is one of the companies that also holds a lot of space within Austin.
And that's true, and we know that Samsung just announced their $15 billion plan immediately outside of Austin. Those kinds of jobs are great too. Again, we're really lucky in the city of Austin that we have lots of $150,000 plus a year jobs. But if we're going to preserve the people, the breadth of people, the diversity of people, we have to make sure in a city where prices are going up, home prices, it's getting more and more expensive to live in this city. We have supply issues, and we have to increase housing supply. But we also have to increase the number of jobs that will enable somebody to be able to stay in this city when costs are going up. And the chip manufacturing gives us a real opportunity, both with those companies and then the satellite companies that form all around them, to have those $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year jobs that someone can get without a 4-year degree, sometimes without a 2-year degree. That's really the hole in our city, and that's why we're so hot on that kind of clean manufacturing.